Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today is June 3rd and it's time for the New Moon Lunar Tarot series. Alright, so these are my new moon readings. I also have full moon readings that I conduct on the day of the full moon, which will be the 17th of this month. But today is the new moon for the month of Gemini. And yeah, I'll be uploading all day. I'll be reading all day. So send me your comments, questions, all right? We're going to get right into it with Aries. We're going to start it off with your Wild Unknown Animal Spirit card. That's the Wild Unknown Animal Oracle deck. And get your spirit animal out. For this new moon cycle. So new moons are all about sowing seeds, planting ideas, beginning, start the, the inklings of a project, right? It's about hope, vision. The new moon is about times like that, This is the time where you wish and you meditate for things that you hopefully will manifest or begin to see manifestations of during the full moon. All right, so you plant the seed on the new moon and you harvest on the full moon. All right, so that's kind of the analogy. So Aries, for today, June 3rd, for our new moon cycle, let's see what your animal spirit card is. Show me what's going on for Aries. Wow, sea serpent. So the sea serpent, it's a beautiful card. Sea serpent is associated with the second chakra. So that is the pelvic area, the kundalini area, sexual energy, masculine energy, dominant, forward. Right? The sea serpent talks about regeneration, right? Also associated with that chakra. So interesting. That's a very fiery chakra to begin with in a way. That kundalini fire sexual energy. It's very Aries anyway. Aries being, that kind of strong, there's a phallic symbol associated with Aries, being the child of the zodiac, being the first fire sign, So it's quite interesting that would be your animal spirit for the month. All right, let's get into your reading. So it kind of indicates that for this new moon cycle, you're going to be dealing with a lot of creative, right, impulses, energy, sexual kind of motivation, right, which is, is the heart of creative forces, right? They begin in that second chakra area, and that kind of bubbling sexual tension, right, is where creation or creative influences come from. Wanting to release that energy, wanting to give that energy some kind of form or expression, right? Give me a clear reading for Aries for this new moon period of June. Today being June 3rd, new moon day, first day of the new moon. Show me what's going on for our lovely Aries this month. All right, this is a general reading for Aries. Could be related to any area in your life. But specifically to talk about the visions that they have for their future, ideas, the seeds that they want to sow, the beginnings, the starts for Aries. How's it going for them? And what are they looking forward to in that area of their life? All right? Show me. Give me a clear picture. Alright, so this is the Deviant Moon deck, which I use for all my lunar readings, full moon and new moon readings. And we do a circular spread here that kind of tells a story. I do a little bit differently than my usual readings if you're familiar with my channel. We're going to go around and take each card in turn and see what this story is for your new moon cycle, Aries. In the future, I'd like to stream the lunar readings, do like a full day of streaming and just stream each sign so people can tune in for their sign. And then, you know, re-watch it later on. All right. At the center, we've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot. At the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles. We'll review him later. Let's get right into the center. Wow. Wheel of Fortune, Aries. Wheel of Fortune is turning for you. You have opportunities coming in, divine opportunities. Your life is definitely taking a forward motion with this Chariot covering the Wheel of Fortune. Things are changing quickly for you. Opportunities are coming in quickly. It almost feels like you're really at the beginning of some like really strong forward momentum in some area of your life. But a lot of it is kind of down to chance right now. It's kind of down to you taking opportunities. Right? Taking opportunities that come through that are once in a lifetime opportunities, unexpected opportunities. You got a little wish fulfillment going on here too, because 7, Chariot is the first 7 in the major arcana. 7s is all about wishes, dreams, your vision for the future, your aspiration. But this Chariot is talking about focusing on what that is and kind of preparing for that forward motion, which is quite interesting that the sea serpent comes up, because that's what the sea serpent is all about as well. That kind of, you know, that building of energy, that building up of forward momentum, focusing, that fiery sexual, you know, the root of that fiery sexual energy, but focusing it in a creative way towards a vision and being prepared to then release it, right? Well, the Chariot is just that. The Chariot is poised. You know, he's kind of poised to move forward. But with the Wheel of Fortune, it's like move forward on what? You know, you have so many amazing opportunities coming in right now. So that's a good card, especially you pin it. So now, if we look over here at King of Pentacles, you know, we're talking about abundance, establishment of abundance, establishment of leadership in your field. All right, so there's some money, you know, some wealth coming through. At the bottom of the deck, we have the 4 of Swords. So you're definitely feeling very kind of like, you're feeling a bit like you're reviewing, you're meditating, you're, this isn't so much like the Hermit. The Hermit is more introspective and more solitary, right? This is just like a pause. This is like when you put everything on pause, you're saying, hang on a second, I'm going to put everything on pause, stop everything. I need to take a moment to ruminate on everything that's going on, because I want to move forward with some stability. 4 being the number of stability. All right. So it could be that you're at a place right now where things are not necessarily stable for you. And so you've kind of put a pause on everything. You've kind of stopped all of your forward momentum to reevaluate exactly which way you're going to go. What is your strategy going to be going forward? Especially in light of this Wheel of Fortune here, where you probably feel with that Chariot crossing, you probably feel a lot of whirlwind energy around you right now. Also, this kind of feeling of potential energy building up. Just, you know, something's about to happen. Something's about to happen. It might be making you anxious, but yet in the meantime, underneath of it all, you're exercising great patience, right? And waiting waiting and strategizing how you're going to move forward properly. Definitely a card of stability. The Four of Swords is one of the few positive, you know, kind of harmonious sword cards, because it is the stability. It's the stable sword card. Ace of Pentacles coming in. Yeah, so you've got opportunities for abundance, for money coming in, an increase of wealth, status, perhaps in a job or a project that you're about to undertake. So this is the energy coming in for you. This is one of the stops on the Wheel of Fortune that's coming in for you very significantly. This offer may have taken some time to come in or to manifest, but it's definitely here. However, you're coming out of a period certainly where you feel like you've been a puppet on a string in a way, right? You see the people dancing under the moon's influences. The moon being elusive, secretive, you know, not being plain, not seeing the whole picture, you know, almost having a veil over your eyes. You know, you're coming out of a period where you've just felt extremely unsure, Aries. You've been feeling very unsure about a lot of things. Unsure of your feelings, of other people's feelings, where you've normally always been very kind of in your mind clear on what you're seeing. You know what you see. You know you're forming the right image of what you're seeing, right? Aries, you're the natural leader, right? So it's not like you're being led around by anybody else. You generally take in everything, you know, in a scenario. You know, Aries are that guy. Aries are one of those guys that they'll be staring at everything that's going on in a room, paying attention to everything that's going on in a room. However, this moon energy you're coming out of, Aries, male or female, I'm just saying, you know, my experience with Aries men, but I'm imagining a lot of you are Aries women, because, you know, most of my audience is female. And it's the same for you ladies, right? You pay attention to a lot of things going on around you. You feel like you really have your finger on the pulse. However, you're really coming out of a period lately where you feel like you've just been played. You know, like you feel like you've just not had all of the information. You thought you did, but you didn't. And you feel like you've really just been played. That's you know, that's the vibe that I get. You know, you feel kind of, and that's really made you feel out of sorts in a way, because you normally don't feel like that, right? You normally are not subjected to that kind of feeling, being in control. You know, you're not necessarily a control freak, Aries, but that can be the extreme for some Aries, can become control freaks. So of course the feeling of being controlled by others or being kind of played in some kind of way is really disconcerting for you guys. And here's the Tower moment, and that's why. You're having a Tower moment of the soul, of the spirit. Not the soul so much, but of the spirit. You're having a Tower moment of the spirit, meaning the person you are here, that passionate person you are. You know, that person you thought, you know, in a way it's like you felt like you had it, you know, you had it all down. You knew what was going on. But so lately this moon has really impacted you. And some of the issues that have come out of the moon, some of the interactions you've had with people, let me make sure you guys are getting this. Okay. Some of the interactions you're having with the people, right, has led you to kind of a Tower moment. Right? And it's being urged on by this opportunity coming through. It can be that once this opportunity came through, or this scenario, right, it's really forced some relationships and some energies in a way that now you're realizing, hang on a second, I didn't have, you know, I didn't know everything. Oh my God, like everything I thought was true isn't true at all. What I thought was correct about the situation isn't correct at all. What I thought was the way I am isn't really the way I am. I'm learning more about myself as well. Things aren't all as they seem. And for you, it is feeling like a Tower moment, because it's like, shit, you know, have I now been doing everything? You know, how much of what I've, you know, been believing have I gotten wrong? Now you have to change a lot of the the systems that you've built up on these beliefs that no longer apply. King of Wands at the top. So, is this you? Is this where you want to be? I think this is you, Aries, in the sense that male or female, again, this is where you want to be. You want to be in control, on top of your game, the family person. You have everyone around you. You know, you've really established yourself. Sorry about that quick cut. My daughter was just leaving the house and I wanted to say goodbye to her. King of Wands, yeah, like I was saying, you know, King of Wands is also that person that I believe a lot of fire signs, you know, with masculine energy aspire to be. That kind of like master, right? Master of his passions, of his craft. The exalted fire sign, you know, Wands being the suit of fire. But the King of Wands is the one who's kind of really learned how to be not just like wildfire, but focused, contained. He's passionate. He completes his projects. He has endeavors. He has visions for his kingdom that he, you know, embarks on and completes. You know, he's the most exalted example of kind of fire in that way. This could also be someone who's coming in for you, Aries. This could be your lover. This could be the person you're looking towards right now as a mate or as a mentor. Somebody who's very close to you that you feel very close to. This person is really, this energy is very forward in your mind and in your consciousness. And I do believe it. I'm starting to believe it could be a person coming in for you only because sea serpent energy is sexual, creative energy. The King of Wands is a master of creative energies, right? He's the master of it. So the sea serpent, again, like I say, because it's that second chakra deep within the pelvic area, the pelvic bowl, it, you know, it's that. And interestingly enough, that chakra is actually associated with water. But the kundalini energy that we talk about, that sexual energy that arises out of it, is associated with the energy of fire. So it's kind of the potential for that, you know, the need to express that. Like I said before, most works of art come, you know, that's why a lot of people look at artwork and they always try to interpret, you know, the phallic symbol or the sexual symbology, or where, you know, where was this person coming from in terms of power and sexual power within their heads in terms of the artwork. You know, there's always that aspect to it because of the creativity that is associated with that same solar plexus, chakra energy, right? So the sea serpent is kind of talking about, like, are you focusing that energy correctly? Are you being a master of it, which is that King of Wands? This could be just where you're just aspiring to be as well, Aries. It's an aspiration as well in terms of for your own life and how you see yourself. Temperance is here, Sagittarius, right? Temperance being, you know, the master of yourself. Another 4. You've got more than one 4 here now. A 4 is being, again, stability, leadership as well. But the first 4 is the Emperor. He's the leader of men on earth. Temperance, 14, is the leader of yourself, is the master of oneself, of one's emotions, right? Being able to temper yourself, to balance yourself, all aspects of yourself, the water and the fire, the emotions and the spirit, you know, all of that is being a master of oneself so you can always achieve your highest good, symbolized by the angel wings. The ability to transcend, right, to elevate yourself at all times. And that's another energy right now that you're learning, I think, Aries. This is for Temperance to come up for Aries, this is a learning curve, certainly, because it's a Sagittarian type of fire. But Aries being the child, Temperance is one of the biggest kind of karmic lessons for an Aries going through life, is learning how to temper themselves, their emotions, their desires. And I think as well, this Temperance is coming from this Tower. I think you're realizing this as well. This is an energy you're realizing you need to cultivate this month. Interesting this would be for a new moon reading, because the Tower is in a way, a sort of sowing seeds for new beginnings. It's the Tower, you know, as soon as the Tower moment happens, it is the seed of a new beginning. You know, it's the crashing of one and the seed of a new. It's the 16 in the major arcana. The first 6 being the Lover's card. But 6 being the number for journeys towards harmony. 6 is all about moving towards harmony, which is why the first 6 is lovers. 16, the Tower card, is that moment, that moment when you realize you have to make the journey. The moment when destruction comes and everything changes and you realize you now have to depart from what you knew to journey towards something different. So in this way, it is the sowing of a seed, of a journey, the sowing of a seed of a new beginning. The real, you know, the chaos of departure, right? The inherent chaos and destruction of departure, the ripping apart, departure being the separation, leaving, right? So in its essence, it's not a coming together, it's a breaking apart, which in its essence is chaos, which is breakdown. That is the Tower, okay? But when you apply that to the idea of departure, leaving a difficult, bad situation or an untenable situation, as soon as that chaotic moment happens, it's almost like you immediately now are working towards harmony and order. It's like the Big Bang, you know. As soon as that moment of chaos happened, that explosion, you know, you then begins the journey back towards order immediately. All right. Sorry, that's my cat crying in the background. I don't know what's up with her. She probably found something to play with. All right. So it's interesting that Temperance would come up, because it's an excellent kind of energy to come up during a Tower moment. It's the most perfect energy in terms of tempering everything that's going on and internalizing what you're going through here, so that you can really make the best of this moment, learn the most from it, gain the most wisdom. With Temperance, you can make the most of a Tower card, certainly. A lot of changes. 10 of Cups for you. There we go. Having it all. That's what you want. That's what you're moving towards, and that is really, truly what you want. I think as well, this is, again, part of the Tower moment, realizing that this is really what you want for yourself, right? Chariot being moving towards a vision. That's that energy moving towards a dream. This is your dream. So again, then when we come back to this King of Cups here, to clarify, I think this is your dream too. I think this is part of your dream. I think this is part of your focus for your dream, right? This character, this Wands energy, this King of Wands, this person who is fiery like yourself, but just, you know, that you respect very much, look up to in a way, see as an equal as well. You look up to this person, but you also see them as a peer. You respect them. They've proven themselves, right? And I think that this could either be someone that you know, or someone you may be, or the type, or it could be the embodiment of what it is that you're seeking in a mate, if you're not already with a mate. If you are already with someone, this could be representing your mate. Because, again, you're moving towards 10 of Cups. And King of Wands has 10 of course. Look at the children around him. He has his children. It actually looks like his grandchildren, which signifies longevity in a family, harmony in a family that's lasted generations. 10 of Cups is very much the same. It's the beginning of that, the 10 of Cups. That's the first generation, right? So love, you know, having the family, having the children. For some of you who may have been separated from your children, you may be working towards being reunited with your children. This is also the card of reuniting families, coming together that may have been apart. 2, so there's decisions that need to be made. Yeah. decisions. Balance as well. More like decisions on how to balance. Not a decision on either or, but more like a balance between the two. Right? A lot of times people think twos are naturally about decisions because it's two, and of course you always have to pick one. But that's a very Western way of thinking about the number two. This idea that one has to win out. Twos are actually about balance. They're not making a choice. They're not really about making a choice of one over another. The number two is actually associated with balance and achieving balance, right? Achieving harmony, coming together in harmony, right? Two of Cups is the Lover's card. You know, it's not the Lovers in the Major Arcana, which is the 6, but I'm talking about the Two of Cups, right? Two of Cups being the Lover's Cups card. And in that, in the Two of Cups, it's not necessarily about making a choice, right? It's actually about choosing to be together, which is not necessarily a choice of one over the other, but it's an agreement to be together in harmony and in balance. Patience. Twos represent patience, right? Dealing with extremes. Balancing extremes, right? So Two of Wands talks about the patience of sowing your seeds for your vision. You know, the Ace of Wands is the beginning of that vision, that project, but the Two of Wands, it's the next step. It's the next step. Now you've begun, right? And now you need to start. You need to employ the patience and the skill of balancing to work towards the next stage. Two of Wands talks about patience, understanding that it takes time to grow things. Establishing yourself takes time. And looking to the future, right? So a lot of patience, I believe. Lately, you've been showing a lot of patience with this whole kind of moon energy you've been coming out of. You know, I believe you've been really standing back. Again, here with this 4, this indicates a certain amount of patience as well. The 4 in terms of waiting and deciding, you know, strategizing. But you need some patience in order to do that. I just feel like that's kind of your overall energy with what you're going through right now, which is a big change. And I think it's more a change of the spirit, Aries. You're coming to some realizations about yourself. And certainly about the recent months and some of the things that perhaps you held to be evident. It may be you may have been caught up in some scenarios that you kind of thought you had under control. And then when you didn't, it was really shocking to you. These could be love situations because ultimately the 10 of Cups is what you're working toward. And with the Sea Serpent being sexual, creative energy, I think this is also a lot about your just frustration in a recent relationship. Let's go get our Thoth deck to clarify. Yeah, this is definitely a new moon reading because this is really, you're really starting the beginning of a kind of a change, certainly with the Tower. It's definitely starting a journey towards a different kind of person, being a different person. You know, you're going through a period, I think, right now where you're realizing that the world around you is not the way you had expected it to be, that you are not seeing the whole picture as the way you thought you had been. And I think that it's making you kind of question everything right now. And perhaps even question some of the things you held true about yourself. Or perhaps some of the things you just took for granted or assumed about yourself. You know, we make assumptions. I heard somebody say something the other day that, you know, assumptions are something we don't realize we're making. And it's true. And we make assumptions about other people, but we also make assumptions about ourselves. And we don't realize we're making them. You know, we assume certain things about what we want. We assume, I assume I want this, but we don't consciously, in a way, do it. It's part of our self-judgment. We judge ourselves, and then we assume the behavior that we, believe is associated. So an example could be, sometimes some people will say, well, I would never get along with a guy like that. Yeah, he's, pretty boy. All right. He's a pretty boy. I don't like pretty boys. I've got, this idea associated with them that, they're pretty, but they're kind of dumb. Okay. Let's just say that. Right. And it's like, this is an assumption, first of all, not only that you've made about other people, but you've made an associated assumption about yourself that you would never, ever be attracted to a pretty boy. What could they possibly, have for you, right? And then one day you meet a person who's a pretty boy, right? And you find out that this person has all of the qualities you've always been looking for, and that you're actually very attracted to them, and that they're attracted to you. And now your whole kind of like belief system of not only what you believed about a group of other people that you made assumptions about, but moreover, the assumptions you made about yourself come into question, especially when you think you know yourself so well. We all kind of think that we know ourselves very well. So that's an example, like a general example of the type of scenario I'm talking about, where you have a situation that really makes you think about, well, who the fuck am I really? I thought I knew who I was. I thought I knew what I wanted. But I'm realizing now that that's either not been true or it's changed. And I've made certain assumptions up until now, but I've never really taken the time to see if they were true. All right. I hope this message gets through. I try my best to explain some of the messages that come through to me and why. All right. Give me some clarity. I've been shuffling and talking for quite some time. And, connecting with the energies, allowing the card to connect with the energies I'm receiving, so it can give me a nice, clear clarity reading on this for you, Aries, this new moon period. Show me. All right. The Fool, Seven of Cups, Aeon, Judgment. Yep. Wheel of Fortune coming back out. Death. Yep. Death in the Tower, of course. Princess of Discs. I don't read Thoth Decks in reverse. Princess of Swords. The Emperor. There you go. There you are, showing up in your reading. Showing up underneath the Sagittarius card. Some of you guys could certainly be dealing with a Sagittarius. I very rarely say what signs you could be dealing with, because all of that, every time somebody pulls a sword, they say, you could be dealing with an air sign. It's just, no shit. Swords are air suits. Doesn't necessarily mean you could be dealing with an air sign at all. Ten of Cups, discs, Ten of Pentacles here. Again, tens are showing up, wanting it all. Having abundance, having the complete package. All right. But I say that, going back to what I said earlier, some of you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, because the reason why I say that is because the card for Sagittarius has literally showed up in the reading. Not just a Wands card that could possibly indicate one of the fire signs, but Sagittarius has shown up, and you have shown up also right under Sagittarius. Okay? So when you have aspects like that, then I feel more confident to say that, yes, you could be dealing with a Sagittarius. Or, let me make a caveat to that, you could be dealing with someone who has a lot of Sagittarius energy. They may be a Cancer, they may be a Leo, they may be a Libra, but they may have a couple planets in Sagittarius, and they may present with that Sagittarian energy, okay? So that's more to the point. Let's get into these clarifications. Yeah, you're starting a journey. This is all what I'm talking about, the Fool. This is absolutely the heart of it all, taking a leap of faith, making a journey. And this is, again, why you're taking your time to strategize. You're waiting to think up a plan. Which way will you go forward? Because you know you're at the precipice of a whole new world, a whole new life, a different life. a new journey. And part of it requires a leap of faith, which is indicative of this card, the Fool. Part of the journey with the Fool is you're doing it with a bit of a leap of faith. You're not quite sure what you're going to encounter. You're hoping for the best, right? And again, those Aries, you realize this is happening, but you're trying your best right now to control the scenario or the narrative as much as possible by waiting to make your decision, waiting to embark on this when you're completely ready. Because the Chariot is poised. The Wheel of Fortune is happening. Fool, the Wheel of Fortune, the Chariot, excellent. These are all excellent cards and aspects in terms of starting a new adventure, an exciting new adventure, one that you're not really sure what it's going to bring, but hi again. Sorry about that. My camera filled up and I had to erase some stuff and start all over. Okay, so the botch is to clarify here for this Ace of Pentacles, right? Okay, so this opportunity coming in, right? What's over it is Seven of Cups, debauchery, right? Debauchery being like too much of a good thing, right? It's when water and spirit don't come into relationships anymore, you know, and it's just all about the lust. It's all about the, you know, the excitement, but there's no elevation there. There's no spirit. There's no conversation. There's no fire to elevate it. And so the waters become quite murky and gross, you know, and it's debauch. It's debauchery. It's overindulging, you know. Seven of Cups, overindulging, giving into, your desires to such a degree that it's like, it doesn't really, it's gotten gross. It's gotten to a point where, you don't even enjoy it anymore. This is when you've been doing something for so long that you used to love and you just don't love it anymore at all. And this opportunity coming in for you as well right now, it's like, I think this opportunity as well is at the heart of this tower, all right? The aspect is underneath this tower because of this what you've been dealing with. This Seven of Cups, this kind of overindulgence. And now here comes something different. Here comes an opportunity to physically change, what your focus has been, what your aim has been. All right. So for example, you could have been working in the field or in an area, right, or in a career where it's been very kind of stale, right? It's been very stale. It's not been very creative, right? It's been very easy money. A lot of easy money has come in and you've kind of just been living it up, but it's not been fulfilling. It's not been something that's grown. It's been just kind of like very easy money, or it's been a very easy time to rise up in the ranks, right? But there's just no satisfaction there, right? There's no creative satisfaction there, and everything, all of the excitement you had in the beginning, right, is gone now. Where you thought, oh, this is going to be really great, I'm just going to be balling and all of that. That whole excitement is gone. And you're just bored to shit with it, And now, here comes this amazing opportunity. But this opportunity is something completely different. It's from a different type of realm in terms of what you'll be doing. But it's an opportunity to find deep satisfaction. It's an opportunity that brings with it kind of a fulfillment. And I think this is also part of the Tower moment you're having, because you're realizing this is kind of a realization, right? And this is why I love to do these circular readings, because of the aspects. You're coming to the realization that, okay, now here, sevens again. Remember, this is Seven of Cups. Sevens again talks about fantasies, talks about dreams, wishes. Also talks about realigning those dreams and wishes, readjusting them, right? as you go through life, when you realize what you thought was your dream 10 years ago now no longer is your dream. This is the epitome of the connection between these two cards, and a chance for you to come out of it. So, Seven of Cups being a dream that has kind of turned sour for you, but now an opportunity coming through. Unexpected. Sevens are also about unexpected opportunities. So, an opportunity, a real opportunity coming through that's unexpected, but that promises to bring a lot more fulfillment. But it has completely shaken you because it's something you never expected would make you happy. See, you were caught up in this is what you thought would make you happy. This lifestyle, this life, this way of living, interacting, relating with people. But now comes something in that's different, but that promises to actually solve all of kind of the disappointment and kind of disgust that you now have with this vision that you've been living for so long. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this is kind of like, you know, that's the message when you get two seemingly unrelated cards together like this, right? Those are the deep, that's what I intuit, right? Certainly from the placement. And that can, of course, bring a Tower moment, because it's like, damn, all my life I thought this is what would make me happy. And oh my gosh, will this actually make me happy? Here you go, clarification on the moon. Aeon. Aeon is the judgment card in the Thoth deck. So you're definitely going through a period where you're reevaluating, you're judging just this period you're just coming out of. You're realizing, you know, you're seeing the bigger picture. You're seeing the bigger picture, and you're realizing exactly who's to blame and why it may be that you weren't seeing the whole picture, why it may be that you feel like you've been played. You're really judging, you're really going in, you're really kind of reevaluating yourself and your role that you have to play and how it fits in to who you are and your life path, you know. Why did I get played like this? Why do I feel like I've been played? You know, what exactly happened here? You know, let me stop for a minute and take a look at what's going on around me. All right, because I don't get played like this. I'm an Aries. I'm fire. I might be the kid of the zodiac, but I'm the fucking leader. I'm the go-getter, Cardinal Aries, you know? I'm the beginner. You know what I mean? I'm the fire bringer. I bring the beginning. I bring the inspiration. I'm the first. So how could you play me? And I feel like this has really brought on this major judgment period. And when I say judgment, it's more like a reevaluation of yourself and how you fit into your own plans and into your own kind of turmoil as well. You know, how have I caused this? Judgment is also about reevaluating the role that you played in your own kind of, you know, I don't want to say demise, but in being in a situation which has allowed you to get played. The moon indicates also sometimes putting yourself in situations that allow you to kind of act without inhibitions. You know, oh, I was out. I was drinking. It's not my fault. I was drunk. You know, oh, we were hanging out. It was a late night thing. That's what you do. Do you see what I'm saying? So the moon can sometimes be a scapegoat for us allowing ourselves to give in to our darker, our darker desires. Tower and the Wheel of Fortune. This is beautiful. Wheel of Fortune, yes. Yes, it is a Wheel of Fortune moment. All right, I love this clarity coming in when the Wheel of Fortune is your center card for this new moon reading, Aries. Yes, of course. And that means this Tower moment is a moment, certainly a moment where you're realizing you have an opportunity to increase your fortune, but also come closer to your karmic path so that you can get fortune and abundance in all areas. I said this last night, it's the Wheel of Fortune, not the Wheel of Misfortune. You know. It's not like misfortune is supposed to be coming your way. Fortune is supposed to be coming your way. So this Tower moment, as with all Tower moments, the way I see them anyway, because I love Tower moments, is a moment to realign your vision, your purpose, your destiny. And a lot of it has to do with realigning who you think you are. Death. There's a change. Here you go. Here's the Death card and the King of Wands. So that's it. So there's a big change. Right? big change for you. Again, King of Wands. I believe this could, like I said earlier, this could be you aspiring to attain this status, this level in your life. Could be also who you're looking toward as a lover. I think that this could definitely be who you're looking towards as a lover, and it's different. It's different for you. You're not used to going for this guy. It could be you're used to going for the exact opposite, the one who's the loser, the one who you need to take care of, right? We all, especially as women, we always want to take care, this, poor wretched soul, let me heal you, right? I think like the death card is coming on the heels of this Tower moment. What's dying is your assumptions about who you are and who you attract and who you need in your life. It could be that some of you have been feeling like you don't deserve a king. Especially a lot of women out there who are unconscious queens. Please check out R.C. Blakes Jr. on YouTube. He talks about queenology. Especially, I think all women are queens. Some of them are unconscious of it. But when you realize, and you have that death moment, you realize, hang on a second, I do deserve better. You open yourself up to this kind of lover. The King of Wands, the man who has his shit together. The man you want, the passionate one, the one you can have longevity with, the one you can respect. Now, this death card is either you changing to work towards that, kind of character level, right? Or it could be you changing and accepting this type of partner to come forward. There's definitely a major death happening, and it's certainly happening as a result of this Tower moment. The death is the dying of the old and the raising of the new, certainly in yourself, your spirit, and your vision for your future. Temperance, Princess of Discs. Temperance again is clarifying. Yes, you realize there's work involved. Through temperance, you're finding out the work that you need to put in. This is going to be hard work, this change you need to put in. All right. It requires actual physical work. It's not good enough just to say, I'm going to adjust this about myself, or I'm going to stop doing this or that, or, I'm a new person. There's physical work involved. Princess of Discs is the earth aspect of earth. She is the, you know what I mean? She's the one who realizes what it takes. She's beginning her journey towards the Queen of Discs. Right? So she's realizing what it takes, how much work it takes. She's willing to put the work in. She's focused. And that's coming out of that temperance as well. So again, interestingly enough, that's crossing this opportunity here, right? You've got a cross of pentacles, this opportunity, Ace of Pentacles. You realize here it takes a lot of work, but you're happy. You want to do it. You want to do it. Through exercising this energy that it's what's needed to bring you to the next level. Princess of Swords here is clarifying that Ten of Cups. Again, this is what you're working for, the happily ever after. But Princess of Swords talks about being honest. Part of this Tower moment as well is Princess of Swords here, the earthy aspect of air. So in a very real way, fighting off energies, fighting off bad energy. You see her, the character there, she's defending this tiny little perch. And if you will, this perch represents, who she is, her identity. She doesn't have much, but she knows what it is. She knows who she is, and she understands the need to kind of fight off those who may attack it with false words, right? With negative energy. She's awakened herself. She's awakened to knowing that the sword suit is about struggle. It's about establishing yourself. It's about communication. It's about thinking and being inventive, right? And all of that. But inherent in the suit is also strife and power struggle. And the Princess of Swords is the very beginning of that realization that you have to fight. And that you have to actively keep negative energies away from you and fight against those who would try to take you away from your perch, make you believe that you're someone you're not. right? Sometimes fighting can be very exhausting, right? Sometimes you get yourself into fights with your attitudes and opinions, and now you have to fend off all of this energy coming your way. There's a warning in this as well. It's very young swords energy. So it's like pick your battles. Pick your battles, pick your battles wisely as well. Okay? And this is clarifying this here, meaning that if you want your happily ever after, you're going to have to put some work into it. Again, we've got two princesses here. This involves, forward action, inspiration, but also understanding that you have to take the step to work at it. You have to take the step to move forward. Fight physical labor and mental strength and agility. The ability to keep up the stamina, the strength and the stamina to stand up for what you believe in. To make the necessary adjustments, not to be lazy. Not to be lazy in thought or in conversation. To have the energy to be honest at all times and to be willing to face problems head on. That's all in the very beginnings here of Princess of Swords. And if you want a 10 of Cups ending, you have to be willing to fight for it. You have to be willing to open up your mouth and have the right conversations. Swords being all about communication. Are you willing to have those communications with people? Are you willing to come forward with a message or with a discussion if you know that that's what's needed? Or are you willing to go back into this kind of moon energy of just being led around and, not really kind of aware? Here we go, showing up in your own reading. Balance, dealing with extremes, right? Stability, though. When two's being balanced and dealing with extremes, in dealing with that, you need stability. You need the ability to be stable. Aries, right here, the Emperor card, showing up. So, sorry for the sirens in the background. So this is very much you, right? I'm so sorry. Two of Wands is patience in establishing your kingdom. The Ace of Wands was the spark for the idea, right? For the passion, for the vision. The Two of Wands, now you're starting to plant and actively work on it. That is very much Aries energy. That's leadership. That's the Emperor energy, moving forward with his plans. In confidence, with passion, with fire. So you're feeling confident, you're feeling in your zone. You're feeling very much in your zone, Aries, in terms of, because Aries, you do love to start new adventures and new projects and new ideas. You are very much like, oh, okay, let's do this. Yeah, I'm ready to do this, right? Being the cardinal sign of fire, the Aries also, you're the leader. You're the one who's the first one to be kind of innovative and say, okay, let's do it this way. And, I have this vision. So this is very much like you're feeling very much in your own kind of, healthy space right now, right? This overall feeling of being on the edge of a whole new kind of adventure, a new life, starting something new that could bring prosperity, that could bring in love. It is all very exciting for you. You feel like you're very much up to the challenge, Aries. Certainly. You definitely feel very much up to the challenge. Again, tempering yourself, this Tower moment and the Ace of Pentacles, those are the deeper, more important issues of this reading. You've got a big month ahead, Aries. You have a lot of thinking to do. You have a lot of creativity coming forward, a lot of changes, a big shift in kind of your life path happening, but for so much good. So much good. 10 of Cups, right? Excellent. 10 of Discs, happily ever after, definitely. All right, guys, so this is the new moon reading for Aries, June 3rd. What a reading. If this resonated with you, you guys know what to do. If you have any questions or comments, please sound off below. I'll get to them right away. And this is the first of the 12 zodiac signs being uploaded. And the next one, of course, is going to be Taurus. And for now, I'll see you either on the full moon or the next new moon. Bye-bye.